Good evening. I know I kind of haven't streamed much this month because of the technical issues we've been having with the network and the new setup. But I'm going to try again tonight. Found a temporary fix. My bars are green right now. Let's see what happens. Tonight, we're going to be doing some very simple Lego building. Not like our usual Lego. I'll show you what I got. And later on, Brett's gonna join us, and we'll do a few more mysteries because it's been a few weeks since we were able to get back to London. We started the more advanced second case book, and then we had a string of weeks where Brett had something going on every Friday. So here we are. We got to get back into it. But I told him I didn't want to do that without testing the connection first. So he's doing his new game on his stream right now, and we'll meet up with him later. Let me just text him and let him know I'm starting. Uh, so I'm just texting him to let him know that I am now online. All right, we're good to go. And so here, as you can see, I just have a Lego store shopping bag on my little table right now. Connection's holding pretty solid right now. So let's keep going. So I don't have a box to show you because, well, we got a little something a little special today. We got the spring blind box series. So let me just empty out the shopping bag here. There should be 12 of these. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. I dropped one. So we haven't even opened the boxes yet, and already we yeeted something off the table. And I don't have the PDF instructions for this one. This is a blind box series, so I don't really think we need to have it on screen. The 12 builds are identical, they're just in different colors. So this may be a little bit boring to watch, but maybe not because though all the color combinations are really cool. So we have 12 boxes here. Now you'll see on the bottom there's some codes, and there's websites you can go to and scan the codes, and it'll tell you what's inside. So theoretically, this is a complete set because my brother scanned the codes when he was picking them up for me. I trust the scanners because I actually did it for myself last summer with the Dungeons and Dragons blind box set. And this is the, let me show you. So these are the miniature race cars they just released. Lego did a big partnership with F1 this past winter, and they released a whole bunch of City and Speed Champions F1 sets. I decided not to do the F1 Speed Champions line just because the cars all look so similar. But I was okay getting these miniature cars because it's these are like more fun. Whereas we have F1 cards in the Speed Champions collection already, and we have like 3 of them from previous years, and I just felt it was redundant to just get 10 cars that all look similar. So, but this is different because this is more of a cutesy kind of thing. This is a collectible thing, and it actually takes the slot of the spring CMF series for this year. So, but I don't think we missed out on not getting a CMF series because there's a set coming out in a couple weeks that basically contains what is the equivalent of a CMF set on its own in that one set. So I have a feeling that's where the CMF set ended up going this spring. But let's go ahead and get into these cars. And it is my understanding, I saw a review of these. Um, the instruction sheet actually is the same. There's one generic instruction sheet, and it's not color coded. Um, so the, we will have a little bit of difficulty in this, in that will have to match up the parts, considering that the parts are going to be different colors for each set, and the instruction sheet is one color scheme. So we'll have to figure out the parts. But once we get the first car figured out, it should be smooth sailing through the rest of them. Connection's still green, so here's our first box. Let's open it up. I know that these cars technically have team names and stuff. I don't know all the names. I'm not going to bother to look them up. We're just going to enjoy the pretty colors. I do know that each helmet, each color scheme is exclusive, and they all have like a blank head with a helmet on top. And the helmet is different for each car and matches each car's color scheme. So it's going to be cool to get those 12 helmets. And those helmets are fully minifigure compatible. Interesting. Okay. So we're going to open up this first box, and I'm going to have to do this carefully because it looks like there's going to be a bunch of parts that like to roll around. So I'll set that aside so you can see in front of us there is a pile of parts. And I'm going to open up this first brochure, this first instruction sheet, I mean, and I'll just leave this on the table in front of me. There are no PDF instructions for this yet. I looked a bit before stream. Here's the checklist side, which shows you all 12 of the cars. It looks like we're starting with the car that has the black and green, the green helmet with the black stripes. So here's the instructions on the back, showing the instructions in kind of a gray color scheme. Let's see if we can start matching up these pieces. So all the cars are going to have this basic F1 chassis piece, and it looks like everything gets put on here. So they're all the same build, but okay. So we put these pins, axle pins, into the axle holes on the car. And we basically just have to do this combination 12 times. And then it shows there's a slope in the back. And it also shows quarter tiles and some detailing on the sides. So these are printed pieces. There's no stickers. So at least that's a saving grace here, but so let's just see how many pieces there are per car. So that's 1, 5 with the pins, 6. We're at 10 pieces on this car so far. And then we have this little assembly in the back here. And that goes into here. And then there's a printed tile on the back, so this will be the Aston Martin car. As per the tile print. And then we have this other printed piece up front. So we're up to 16 pieces on the car so far. And then we have a clip. And this is going to be the kind of the cockpit frame for the driver. And that'll go on the front here. And then we have this special piece. And then a blank head to put the helmet on. And so the molded transparent visor gives the blank white head some color. So it gets this blank white head. Apparently all the cars have this head. And then we, when we put the visor over it like this, it will change the color of the head with a transparent clear like that. So this is as much of a figure as you get with these race cars. So we were up to 14 parts back there, 15, 16, 17, 18. This will put us at 21 parts. And then the helmet just sits in the middle like this and looks like the driver's sitting in the car behind the little frame. And from there, all that's left to do is to put the wheels on. And these cars are, wow, I knew they were small, but this thing's tiny. I suppose we can line up our little fleet in the front of the table, like we usually do with the figures. They're small enough that they're really not taking up any build space. And now that we've puzzled out the first one, the rest should go pretty smoothly now that we know what we're doing. So the wheels are on. Let's take all the spare bits off. And I do have at the ready one of the separators, but given how tiny these cars are, I really don't think we'll need it. Still, it's standard practice for me to have it on screen. I'll leave this instruction sheet out so I can refer to it as we do each car. So here is our first little tiny race car. Cute little thing, green and black. All the helmets are different. This is a green one with black stripes. Later on, there's also a black helmet with green stripes. But it looks like there's several helmets that are black, but of different colored stripes. So it looks like some of the helmets share color similarities, but none of the helmets are identical. And the label on the back says Aston Martin. So this will be the little Aston Martin car. Let me hold it back here. So you can see that there's printed detail on the sides there and on the front, and then of course the tile on the back. These pieces are so tiny, I don't know how well those prints are coming out. Nice helmet there. And even though it's a white headpiece, the transparency on the visor makes it look like a yellow headpiece, like standard Lego minifigures. It's a little weird that there's no face, but actually, this is kind of like 90s racing computer game graphics almost in its aesthetic here. So the lack of a face doesn't really bother me because these are like little and cartoony, and it's just enough detail that it serves the purpose. Let's go ahead and put that car out, and let's pull our next car. Before I dump out the rest of the parts, let me retrieve that piece, because I think that was the headpiece that just came out. And if it was the headpiece, then it's going to want to roll around on the floor. Got it. Okay, so this car is going to be orange and black. And we don't need the instruction sheet for this one. And another piece just yeeted onto the floor. But you know what? I think the piece that went on the floor this time is one of the ones that there's a spare of. So let's go ahead and start building and see what happens. So, chassis piece. We put the pins in. So, orange and black for this car. And then the side detail here. All right, we're back to green. I don't know what happened there. I got most of this car put together in the time when the connection was out. Hopefully we can stay solid at this point. And so this is a black helmet with orange stripes, and this car is represents the McLaren team. If I remember correctly, McLaren and Aston Martin are two of the three teams that already had F1 cars and Speed Champions before the big Speed Champions F1 wave. Um, so, okay, so I did some things to adjust the connection, and we should be good to go now. So this is the third car in front of me, and it is the same. This is the car that's the same color as the instruction sheet, so this one should be the easiest to actually put together because I don't have to interpret parts for this one. So let's just get back into it, and eventually we'll connect with Brett to do some London, but without, now that it doesn't look like I have to struggle with the connection right now anymore, hopefully it's fixed and we can move on with things. Um, that's nice of a piece to hide inside the helmet like that, but here we are. We got there. So let's see. So it looks like this car is just the generic F1 branding car in the F1 corporate colors. So this one doesn't represent a team, but this one represents F1 itself as an organization. And this one has a nice black helmet with silver stripes. Oh, and the visor's trans red, so we have a nice red face for this driver. Well, not face. We have a the head appears red for this driver. Now that we're not fighting with the connection, we should be able to breeze through with these last 9 builds after this. Alright, so here's our F1 corporate car. You can see the F1 logo back there on the tail. It doesn't seem to want to focus. Very cool helmet there. Black helmet with silver stripes and red visor. Alright, let's keep going because we have 9 more of these things to get through. And we're already running late to meet up with Brett. I think he wanted to start the co-stream part at about 11. Here's a color scheme that's based around black, white, and red, it looks like. Let's put this one together. Seems as I took that one away, that box away, I left a piece inside that fell out as I was moving it. I never would have noticed that otherwise. So let's go ahead and start putting this one together. It's cool that all the printed parts are actually printed parts, and it looks like there's 4 per car. Something just fell. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, one of the wheels. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay, so do I see any logoage yet? Not that I can't tell. So this is the Haas car we're working on now. This red, white, and black one. Alright, let's assemble the driver head. So this is a red helmet with white stripes and red visor. So he goes in like that, and then we can put the wheels on. So it'll take us about a half hour, 40 minutes to build the rest of these cars, I think. There's just enough pieces in each that they'll go quickly, but not too quickly. Here's the Haas car. Very cool color scheme on this one. Okay, this one looks like it's going to be another green-based one. It's green-based, but it's definitely a different color scheme and different print pattern than the Aston Martin one we did before. Alright, where's that little slope there? Let's see, this is going to be the... Oh, I can't even tell. The printed top for this one does not actually have a logo on it. This might be one of the two cars that they removed the branding for on account of being adult-based companies or adult-oriented companies. Like one of the companies is connected. One of the companies that sponsors the F1 cars was, I think, connected with a European porn site. So they removed the branding when they brought that car to Lego. And there was another one, I think, that dealt in energy drinks, or not energy drinks, but alcoholic drinks. And so they removed the branding when they brought that car to Lego. So two of the cars had branding adjustments due to being sponsored by adult-oriented companies that were not Lego friendly. So I can't tell you which team this car is for because there is no logo or identifier for this one. And it's probably one of those two cars. There is a very tiny, what looks like stylized S on the hood of the car, though. Couldn't tell you what it means, but that's all I've got to go on for a team identifier on here. So we'll just call this one the S car. So we'll put that there. We'll put his little head together. It's interesting the way they do the heads. You have this white minifigure head, blank, not printed, no face. It sits on this black tile piece. It's a 2x1 with a little minifigure neck peg in the center. This piece, if I in the review stated that this piece was created for this set, and this is the first use of it. I see this piece being useful in, like, if you're making a mock for like an armory and you want to put your minifigure heads like on a shelf to have the helmets in a row. If you're like building an armory and you need a place for the your heroes to store their helmets, and you don't just want to make a minifigure mannequin. Oh, I forgot to put the helmet on. This one is black with green stripes. The other black and green car, the helmet is green with black stripes. And this one actually has a green visor to make the head appear green. The other green and black car, the visor is trans yellow and makes the head appear yellow. Let's go ahead and put the wheels on this car. There's no consistency with what parts are ending up as spare bits in these packs. You would think they would be consistent given that LEGO generally has a formula for what bits become spares. But it's been different parts in each car so far. So here is the unidentified S car. Very cool look. Let's bring on the next car. Let's see, did I put that tile on the back correctly? Let me compare this to the picture on the checklist. Yeah, I oriented that correctly. Alright, let's go on then. This will be number 6. Oh, this car has some blue parts in it. And 2 pieces yeeted off the table that time. Including the head, which is a piece that we see go off a lot. And I don't see the piece that went off, unfortunately. Let's see, though. All 4 wheel pieces are accounted for. All 4 tires are accounted for. Let's start building and see if anything obviously shows up as missing later on. And then we'll go hunting for the piece if it's not a spare. If it is a spare, we'll just leave it and not worry about it. It is cool that we're getting our first car that has blue in it, though. Okay, oh, I forgot these little bits at the side here. It is, I will tell you, it is a little tricky and frustrating working off instructions that are in the incorrect color, but that's how they decided to do the set. This is one thing, this is one aspect of this CMF series that kids are, or CMF equivalent series, that some younger kids are probably going to be frustrated by. So this is silver stripes on a gray helmet with a trans dark visor. So the minifigure is the head maintains its whitish hue but turns gray. Okay, oh, I forgot the tile on the back. This is another one without logo. But if I remember correctly, there was one, the Red Bull car I remember being, the big version was an 18, they labeled it as an 18 plus set. So I think this is the Red Bull car. I'm not going to swear on that because there is no logo. There is no logos to confirm it for sure. But I think I recognize the color scheme from the bigger set. So this is most likely Red Bull. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but it looks like the other piece that yeeted off was a spare because, look, we're putting the last wheel together now. And, yeah, so here's what I think is the Red Bull car. We are now halfway done with our little cars. Let's go straight into car number 7. So it looks like we're averaging about 4.5 minutes to 5 per car. Okay, this was another... Okay, this looks like a interesting colors going on with this one. Let's put it together and see how it comes out. So we're now moving into the bottom half of the field. We're still lacking most of the brightly colored cars. Okay, so this one has navy blue tiling that's in my poor lighting, or I should say it's not that poor lighting, but it's not quite adequate. And in this lighting, it's the navy blue is very difficult to tell from the black when viewed from certain angles. But I think it's okay. It's not that deep. Let's keep going. Okay, we need to build that little segment again. The wheels on this car are yellow and do not match any more of the color scheme that's going on with this car. That's unusual. Most of the cars, the wheels are kind of matching the color scheme. Oh, and I forgot to put the little slow piece on the back here. So this car gets which tile? This is another unlogo tile. So this must be the other adult car. Because I remember there was one car that was associated with a porn site, one that was associated with alcoholic drinks, and the Red Bull car also didn't get its branding. And if the other car was the Red Bull and we had the other unbranded car, then this would be the other car that's unbranded. Also the S car, so that's the fourth car that we couldn't really tell what it was supposed to be. So we have here Actually, we only have 3 cars because the S car was the first that was unbranded. Um, yeah, so excuse me one moment. I'm muting the mic, but I'm going to keep building. Okay. I've already unmuted, so you're done talking. Anyway, so this car, the helmet does not match the color scheme of the rest of the car. It's a white helmet with red stripes and an orange visor. Let's go ahead and put the wheels on. This is car number 7, so we have 5 more to put together after this. Okay, let's take the spare bits off and then take a quick look at this seventh car. And here is our third unlogoed car. So hopefully we're done with the cars that are sponsored by non-kid friendly companies that Lego couldn't print the logos for. Very cool helmet, but it doesn't match the rest of the car. Most of these helmets match the color schemes of the car, but not this one. Well, the Red Bull one didn't really match either. It's a silver and gray helmet on a red, white, and blue car. So we'll just set this one back here and start a second row. Let's pull out car number 8. So far the scanning seems to have worked. No duplicates so far. Oh, this car has some pink parts in it. This is going to be a fun one to put together. So even though the cars are all exactly the same build, they all have different personalities and looks because of the different colors. Again, the fact that the instruction sheet is one set of colors rather than having separate instructions for each one, I know that would have been more printing on Lego's part, and they would have probably had to charge $6 or $7 for each of these instead of 5 if they had printed individual instructions. But having all the instructions be the same color, but all the cars having different color schemes, and so you kind of have to match up the parts in your head, this has got to frustrate a lot of kids who collect this series. But not me, because I've been doing Lego long enough that I know that the instruction sheet here is guidelines, and I have the experience necessary to know which parts are what and what goes where based on the instructions, even though the colors are all different. So these two printed pieces match. So these are the slopes for the side, because the front slope, while it's the same piece, gets a different print. So let's not forget the slope in the back. So this is, it looks like it's going to be, this car has some blue and black bits going on, or some blue, pink, and black bits going on. So this car is an interesting color scheme. We're back to having logos on these cars. Let's see, what's this logo look like on the back here? So this car is for an organization, a team. This car is for a team called Alpine. Let's go ahead and keep putting it together. I don't know anything about the Alpine team, except it's cool that we're finally back to cars that are have kid-friendly sponsors that Lego can print the logos on for this series. Where's the little connector piece? Oh, shoot. Ah, is that it? Yeah. The little collector piece had fallen on my instruction sheet and I didn't even notice it. So the Alpine car has blue and pink details, including these pretty pink wheels that we're going to be putting on in a moment. The helmet is blue with pink stripes. Let's go ahead and get the driver put together. We have 4 cards left after this one. So this is another one of just the dark transparent visor. So it turns the white helmet, it turns the white head gray, but the helmet itself is blue with pink stripes. These helmets are they are using the standard minifigure head mold. It's just that they're blank and unprinted for this set. Wait a minute, there's 2 pink wheels and 2 blue wheels. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. So according to this, let me make sure that okay, it doesn't look like any other cars have this 2 color wheels. It looks like Alpine's the only one. And the little checklist at the back shows the pink wheels in the back and then the blue wheels in the front. Interesting. So it looks like the highlights in the front are all blue and the highlights in the back are mostly pink. This car definitely has an interesting design. The blue and the pink both look good against the black base of the car. Definitely an interesting and unexpected color scheme and refreshing when compared with some of these others. So here's this car. Let's go on with number 9. Oh, I didn't show you. There's the Alpine logo at the top, and then this logo on the front. And the logo on the front actually just, it looks like oh yeah, that's the Alpine logo. It almost looked like the 4 Plus logo from a certain angle. Lego's 4 Plus line. There's a logo associated with that. We're moving on to car number 9. And this one looks like it's got a bunch of teal going on. So let's go ahead and start assembling this one. And all the cars, it looks like, have the same white axle pins. I've seen this axle pin used in many sets, in many regular sets, as part of the Technic constructions, but I've never actually seen the axle pin in white before. It's one of the pieces that's usually one of the Technic pre-colored, color-specific pieces that they use for internal parts. So this one's interesting in that the front slope and the side slopes are actually two different base colors. We haven't seen a car like that yet. But at least it makes it easier to differentiate them. And this one does have a logo on the front of the car, so I can assume that the back is going to actually have the team name or logo, like some of the cars do. Okay, let's, this goes here. And then I need this piece. And this will go here. And then we need, right, we need to set up, oh, I forgot the back tile here. The back tile does not have a logo, but that front logo, I think it's one of the classic car logos. Mercedes-Benz, I think, maybe. Maybe. So yeah, this car is unlogoed. I think that's the Mercedes logo up front, though. Unless I have my car logos confused, which is entirely possible because it's been a while since we did the other Speed Champions cars. So this is a teal helmet with silver stripes. It's got a it's got the trans dark visor, so the head appears gray through it. Let's add the wheels. We are now 3/4 done with the series. We have 3 little cars left. And we are getting some of the more brightly colored cars coming out now. So that's a good thing. And Brett takes it back. So I have to give him a quick progress report. Alright, so there's the 9th car, which I think is a Mercedes. It's got this silver, teal, and black color scheme. The helmet is teal with silver. And the lights in my room are really reflecting off of that silver striping on the helmet. Alright, we got 3 more cars to go. And then we'll be connecting with Brett. So let's open up this box. Okay, so this is another one that features blue parts. This one has some orange parts as well. And is that a navy blue helmet I see up there? Alright, Lego doesn't call it navy blue. Lego calls it dark blue. But car number 10 does have some interesting coloring that's going to go with it, it looks like. You know the drill by now. Axle pins, a bunch of detail pieces, and then the driver, and then the wheels. So like the Red Bull car before, this one does have some navy, but it also has some regular blue as well. Okay. I see a W on the hood slope piece. So that's probably a clue as to the team for this car. But yeah, that's a pretty prominent W there. It looks like the orange for this car is just limited to the seat back piece. Interesting. Wonder why you would just splash orange there, but nowhere else. Interesting. Anyway. So let's get the logo tile onto the back of the car here. And the logo tiles, it does say Williams. So the W on the front of the car represents a team called Williams. And the helmet is dark blue with white stripes. And is also another of one of those trans dark visors that turns the head gray. We haven't seen a colored head in a little while. There's a few. There's been a few colored heads this run, but we haven't seen one in a little while. So let's, before I can show the car off, we do have to add the wheels. Two more cars after this one. And no duplicates so far. So, yeah. When you go to pick up CMFs in store, CMF series, blind box series, check your code scanners. Go online, get the code scanners, and you'll be able to piece together whole sets that way instead of having to pick randomly.
So, FYI, I had to stand at the bin for about an hour.
It took you an hour to dig through the bin and find all of them?
I found the first 8 in about 10 minutes. And then the next 3 in the next about 15 minutes. And then it took the whole rest of the time to find the last one.
That, when it comes to the most recent couple CMF series, that's what people probably experienced when going for the castle figures. The Wolfpack figure from the last series, I hear, was like scalped pretty much instantly, and you couldn't get it from store.
Hair looks good. Where'd you go?
Rick's place.
Oh, Rick's. They gave you a little bit of a fade. It looks good.
Anyway, so here's the Williams car number 10. When I finish the cars, Brett and I are going to connect for a couple hours and do some mysteries. So it's got a blue color scheme with one little tiny splash of orange. Navy helmet with white stripes. And there's a very pretty W logo for Williams up front. You can see their logo on the tail. And we got 2 more cars left to put together. You can see there's a wide variety of color schemes, but they all use the same basic black chassis piece that they're built around. Okay, this one's going to be another one with a bunch of red in it. Wow. Talk about impressive catch there. We've still got a bunch of pieces stuck in here. The instruction sheet for this one had a bunch of pieces wedged against the edge of the box. So car number 11. It looks like car number 11 is going to be the reddest of all the cars. So yeah, I can imagine when they put a castle character in the CMF series, I can imagine that those boxes are gonna be scalped, and you'll be standing in your Lego store bin for an hour scanning. When I scanned the D&D set myself last summer, we actually, the Dragonborn Paladin, which was the big ticket figure from that set that everyone wanted. That was actually the third or fourth one we scanned. We found one pretty quickly. I think it was the Mind Flayer that was the last one and took us the longest to find. But when we were doing those, we when we were doing the D&D scans, I think it took us about 15 minutes to find them all. And I know I scanned, like, there were several figures that I scanned 3 or 4 boxes of before we actually found a full set. Obviously, we only took the first one we found of each figure. I wasn't going for duplicates. When it comes to these collectible series, I go for one full set. That's all I need. I'm not an army builder. Maybe one day if I do a mock and I need a lot of figures of a certain faction, then I'll do army building, but I don't see the need. I mean, you need one for the collection, and then save some for everybody else, you know. Don't be a hoarder. Okay, this is our Ferrari car. I recognize the horse logo from when I was doing Speed Champions logo last year. That is the classic Ferrari horse logo on the front of this car. And if you do a Speed Champions collection, Ferrari is one of the car companies that you're going to have a lot of exposure to, because the Speed Champions Generation 2, the 8-stud wide cars that I collected last year, there are 4 different Ferrari cars in that line. Um, all of them uh, in all of them in the classic Ferrari red. So there's the little cage. We got to put the head together, and then we got to put the wheels in. So this is a red helmet with white stripes. So this helmet actually matches the Haas helmet. No, actually it doesn't. They're both red helmets with white stripes, so they have the same basic helmet. But the Haas car has a red visor that turns the driver head reddish, and this one just has the dark visor, which turns the driver head to gray. So no, this is not quite the same helmet, but in terms of helmet design, this is the only one that's identical-ish in terms of molding and printing. It just has a different visor. We only have one more car after this one. All the cars share the same black chassis piece and the same white axle pins, but other than that, all the other pieces vary in color. Where's the other tire? There it is. It rolled up against this other car. And lots of spare bits with the Ferrari car. Let's go ahead and set them aside. And here is our Ferrari. Let's get... Of course the camera isn't going to want to focus on that tiny little logo. But there's the classic Ferrari horse logo. And of course the logo on the back says Ferrari. And there's our nice bright red Ferrari. We'll set that one down. And we just have one car left. So yeah, we're averaging about 4.5 minutes to 5 minutes per car. Oh, I did it again. Another nice catch there. And this car has some purple parts. Interesting. Okay, I see what's going on with this one. This one's not a team car because this one the logo landed face up. This car's logo tile says F1 Academy on it. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds interesting. And it's got a really pretty looking color scheme with pink, purple, and just a tad bit of teal for the slow piece. But mostly pink and purple. This is probably, in terms of color scheme, the prettiest of the cars. So it's kind of interesting that this is the one that we just happened to pick up last. Okay, these two match, so they're obviously the side slopes. And then, of course, we get the F1 Academy piece. And this one has a nice pink front piece. Where's the other slope? There it is. Oh, man. Butterfingers moment there. It just slipped right out of my fingers. Okay. This is... Okay, shoot, what was I doing? I lost focus when I dropped that piece. I think I remember where I am. This is a cool assortment of color schemes here. Okay. It's kind of cool how they captured the F1, the standard F1 shape form factor in such a tiny form. Obviously, they're not as detailed as the full-scale model builds that you see in Speed Champions and also the City line now. Okay, this one's cool. It's a white helmet with pink stripes, and the visor is kind of an aqua color, but it doesn't really turn the head into the aqua color. It just gives somehow the head still mostly looks white through the distinctly aqua shaded visor. Interesting how the colors worked out there. But the pink stripes on white helmet, I think that might be my favorite of the helmets. I also like the silver on black. The orange on black one is pretty cool. I mean, all the helmets are cool. The silver on gray, the stripes are kind of lost in most lighting. Silver on teal, that's another cool helmet. But I like this pink on white with aqua visor. That's probably my favorite helmet of the lot. Either that or the black and silver one. The black and silver one, the black one with silver stripes also has a red visor. So maybe that one is actually my favorite helmet from the set. But if that one's my favorite helmet, then this one would clearly be my second favorite helmet from the set. But I'm going back and forth between those two for which one's my favorite helmet. As for color scheme, I really like this one. It's mostly purple, but with a little bit of pink and teal going on. And I really like this one. And this color scheme doesn't actually represent a team. This one, the logo says F1 Academy. So here's the car. Here's the F1 Academy logo at the top. Like I said, I have no idea what they are. They're probably a training facility for F1 racers. And there's the car. And we'll move it into our grid. And now that we're done, we'll actually take our brick separator, which we never actually used, but I always have it on standby during a Lego stream. We'll toss that aside. We will take our instruction sheet, and I always keep one copy of the instructions when I do these collectible blind bags sets. So I will take this one instruction sheet, set that aside as well, and let's go ahead and spread out our cards in the lineup a little more so you can enjoy the view while I get in touch with Brett. This will give you something to look at while I have dead air and arranging the call. But let me just get everything spread out. We're not going to go over all the team names again. We're just going to... I'm just going to line them up like they're about to... Well, they're not about to race because I don't have 12 hands and I can't push them all at the same time. So no, we're just going to line them all up so that you have something pretty to look at. Okay. I'm going to text Brett, let him know that we're ready, and then I will talk until he calls me, at which point I will mute. We'll set up logistics and we'll start transitioning over to London. We're going to return to the London Mysteries game. We're going to try for 3 mysteries tonight. Maybe we can get 4 depending on how efficiently we go. We're definitely lost some steam on that since taking so many weeks off. Man, the cars aren't all evenly lined up. It's okay. It's cool. I don't need to be a perfectionist with how they're lined up. But yeah, that looks cool seeing the 12 cars lined up. They're a lot tinier than I thought they would be, but at the same time, physically they're about the same size as a CMF. Actually, in terms of weight, I think they actually have a little bit more substance than a regular CMF because these are whole mini models. Definitely micro builds when it comes to Lego sizes.